Hey, how's everybody doing today? Clint, the audio guy here. I just thought I'd show you what I'm working on. Besides watching Tech Source, addicted to this channel lately. Anyway, um, pay no attention to that. I'm going to talk about that in another episode. But here, what I'm doing is ripping CDs into my Sony ES HAP-Z1, HAP-Z1 music server. So this has a 1 terabyte hard drive on board, and you can rip your CDs in normally into a computer, and then you transfer them from a computer to the server. But you got to go through the software, and it takes time to transfer. You can do it wirelessly, or you can wire it with an Ethernet cable. But this is the faster way to do it, which is connecting an external CD-ROM drive. These are cheap; they're like $25, and you just connect it with the USB and put the disk in there and transfer it right directly to the unit. The drawback to doing it this way is that you don't have a backup. So if the hard drive fails, because the hard drives eventually are like light bulbs, they're like very long-lasting light bulbs, then the hard drive goes, you lose all your music. So I'm first just ripping them all directly to here, and then I'm going to back it up to another hard drive on my network. So anyway, I have one disk here. And the reason I have one disc here is because I have spent the last 3 weeks ripping all of these. So this is just about my entire collection. I've already taken a couple stacks of these down to the basement to put away, but then I have stacks out of the jewel cases. So like this stack here is like 2 entire piles. So a lot of CDs. And this takes a long time. So you guys get to witness the final disc, which I didn't have this one. And this is kind of music from my era, 90s. But I watched Kodachrome, which is a great movie, and they featured this one, so I went to Record Exchange and picked it up used. So you put the disc in, you close the door, and this is what it does. CD inserted into drive. Do you want to copy the music? Yes. And then you just hit enter. I'm using my knuckle, so these are screen printed on. Any buttons that have, or faceplates that have screen printed on, you don't want to touch it with the oils on your hands. You want to make sure you're hitting just the button, because people wear those off if you press it a bunch. Anyway, it says press enter, prepare to copy, connect CD drive to external power. So most of the time you want to get a CD-ROM drive that actually has external power. This one does not, it just happens to work, but when you're looking for one of these, you want to get one that has, a wall wart and power going to it, because sometimes they don't have enough power just off the USB on the server. This one does, so we're gonna do that. Now it asks you, it only gives you the option for 2 formats. When you're ripping into the computer, you can rip into MP3 as well, various bit rates, AIF, all kinds of different formats. But when you rip into the server, it just gives you the option of 2 formats, WAV or FLAC. Both are lossless. WAV is actually what's on the CD to begin with. FLAC, from what I understand, it's smaller than WAV. So FLAC is, if you're trying to save some space on the drive, that's really the way to go. But from what I understand, it's the information above the bits that are being used that they just delete, and then they fill it back in on playback. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that's the gist. So I say OK, FLAC. With verification and retries, slow, or without verification and retries, fast. Verification, I think, compares every song to the Grace Note database, and it takes forever. So you don't want to do that. So I say fast and enter, and then it's going to search for a second. It finds the album on the Grace Note database. Once your server's got to be connected, of course, to your network, so it has access to the internet. But you want to pick the best one. Sometimes it'll come up with like 5 or 6 options, and there's one that'll be like, that's the one for your CD. So you pick that. In this case, it just picked one, and then you hit start. And there it goes. It depending on how long the tracks are and how many is how long it'll take, but usually takes 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and then you're done. And then you can use the app on a phone or a tablet to search your music, and it is the best app I've seen in the industry. Unfortunately, I don't think they have these anymore. This is the full-size ES piece, and they have the HAP-Z1. Then they have a smaller one that's got 500 gig hard drive. That is the HAP-S1. They're still available used, but I haven't seen any available for a while from Sony. So anyway, thing's beefy too. This thing's like 37 pounds, and it's just a music server. There's no amp in it, so that's pretty chunky. But anyway, I'm gonna have fun searching my music now and not having to look for a disc, because all of these are in there. I even have my dad's music in there. All this, like Shake Shack jams and stuff from his jukebox, they're even in there. So it'll hold a ton of CDs. At one point I tried to check and see how much space, because I thought it might be getting filled up, and I only had 70 gigabytes of 1,000. So tons more space. I can get a lot more CDs in there. Anyway, that's all I'm doing right now. Thanks for watching. I just thought I'd show you what I was up to. And I'll have a review on that coming pretty soon, or an unveiling. You didn't see it, pretend you didn't see it. All right, have a good one. We'll see you guys on the next one.